This is Carrie at the Womb Bookstore, and I am back with your message to contemplate for this week. So, this week's message is all about authenticity, and it's really about doing things your own way. So, doing things in a way that is unique to you, that works best for you, that suits you the best, doing things in a way that does not have anything to do with pleasing anyone else, but that is more conducive and in alignment with your life. It kind of seems radical. Before we get into the messages, let's talk about last week's message, which was what if your cup was half full instead of half empty? Or what if you saw your cup as half full instead of half empty? So, last week's message, I talked about how there were lots of emotions surrounding seeing the cup half full instead of half empty. I mean, cups in tarot is all about your emotions, and I definitely felt the emotional roller coaster last week. One of the major things that came up for me was, again, authenticity and understanding that the things that I have to offer and the things that I have to say, it is okay for me to be me and express in my own unique way. But sometimes out of fear of not receiving love or out of fear of not being liked, I wouldn't express as authentically as I could. So maybe there are certain words that I wouldn't say. I would smile maybe when I didn't want to. There's so many small ways in which we express or we are not authentic in our lives just to fit in with others, just to receive love, just to be liked, which is understandable. But there's also bigger ways. And last week, I believe the message was more about the bigger ways that we dim our light just to fit in with others around us. Specifically, ways in which we learn as a child to dim our light or to suppress certain things that we did. I had the example last week of joking and having those jokes as a child. You could be a comedian as an adult if you worked on that skill and if you accepted that skill as a skill. And for me, I definitely saw, even in things like this, doing my readings, how I've been slowed down a bit by fear of being disliked or fear of saying the wrong thing whenever I do my messages or any readings I do or anything that involves me using my intuition and not cold hard facts, because I grew up to be a very analytical person. And so me being able to look at that fear of, oh no, this does not fall anywhere within my old way of being analytical. It's actually me being, I won't even say the opposite of analytical, because I think the analytics fall into that, but relying more on my intuition was not something that I was comfortable with. And it's taken me a lot of time and to rely on my intuition and to be able to share that with others by doing readings, etc. And so it is a gift for me to share them. I had to understand that this is a gift and it is okay, and that my gifts can help others and can resonate with others just like they resonated with me, and to be actually happy and proud and to keep building and developing my gifts instead of worrying about others and what they'll think. So that's what I got from last week's message. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or if you contemplated something similar. And now we're going to move on to this week's message. Okay, this is your message to contemplate. So the energy that I'm getting from these cards as I pulled them is a lot of uncertainty, an uncertainty on what direction to go in. And that uncertainty is causing some self-sabotage, self-doubt, really hearing, oh no, what if I do it wrong? Which way is the right way? Which way is the best way? How can I do this more correctly? Like really being in your head, wanting to know the best way to do things. Like, how can I do this and not make any mistakes at all? So the message to contemplate is, what if you did things your way? What if your way was the best way? What if the way you knew how to do things was the way that you should do it? Because it's your way, it's the best way for you. And that's what I get from this card is the seeking, the investing in many different paths in many different ways, trying to figure out the best way. When all along, there is this way that the way she's holding this pentacle, it's like the way that you know how to do things is the best way. This is the knowledge that you've had, the knowledge that you've gained on your journey in your life. And this is giving you the best way to do whatever it is. There is not any need to look outside of yourself and the knowledge that you have. There's no need to compare yourself to others. There is no need for you to wonder what is the best 100% path that will make no mistakes and I will quickly rise to the top of whatever it is I'd like to do. There's no need to do that. There's only a need to be in balance with yourself. This is the Temperance card. There's only a need to be balanced within yourself so that you can move forward in a way that is best for you. So doing things that are in alignment with you. So in this seeking out of the best way to do things, the energies that I get from that are more like people pleasing. So the thing that's driving the wanting to do things the best way, the fastest way, is to people please. So maybe you want to look good in front of your friends. Maybe you have someone in your life who you have put up on a pedestal, so who is really important to you. And this could be like a boss or something. Perhaps you're trying to please your boss by getting those numbers in time or getting that report done early, or exceeding their expectations, or even just trying to meet an impossible deadline. But in reality, what you're doing is putting yourself at a disadvantage by trying to please them when all they are doing is winning from your actions while you may be struggling. So this person in the front, they have all the money, they have won this round. People in the back, they seem, dejected and sad because they lost. And the people that the person that you're trying to please, they have their back to them. They're laughing like, ha ha, I gotcha. So it's really giving me the energy of whoever it is that you were trying to please, whether it be a boss or a spouse or parents, understand that they are winning from you trying to please them. You're not really gaining anything from that other than their approval, their verbal approval. But you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because this woman, this is the Six of Pentacles. It's usually about a card of giving and receiving, but it looks like this woman here is only giving. I don't really see anyone getting or giving to her. They all have their hands out like, yes, give to me, give to me, give to me. But she's not receiving back, even though she has a lot to give. I mean, she's sitting on a big old pentacle there. But just because she has a lot to give doesn't mean it should be given to them. So just being careful in your life of the ways that we are people pleasing or trying to please others by giving more of ourselves than we need to. Giving more of ourselves that can potentially throw us out of balance on our true path, doing what is best for us. Instead of doing that, a better way could be to invest in ourselves, invest in our gifts, the things that will help us grow, will help us in our lives to be better. Even investing in a new routine and investing in more yoga and meditation so that we can be in balance. This is the Justice card, but I'm seeing the balance with the two scales here. Being perfectly in balance and in alignment so that there is no need for us to rush. There's no need for us to stretch and reach so far that it takes us out of alignment, that we come home upset, angry, resentful about giving more than we have been receiving. But investing in ourselves so that we can have live a more balanced and aligned life. And the outcome from that would be us being able to reap from the things that we sow. So rather than having someone else benefit from the things that we are working on or doing, we will be able to benefit from those things. So she's checking her investments here. They're not quite ready to be harvested, but she's put a lot into them, and they're there, they're growing, and they're for her. Again, this can help alleviate your mood. Especially if there's someone who is watching this who has been very moody, who's not really sure what's wrong, it's like, what's going on with me? Maybe in your life things have not been imbalanced. So you're giving more than you're receiving, and it's making you unhappy. So there's an opportunity here to fill your own cups. And this isn't just one cup. This is filling all of your cups, making sure all of your life, that many aspects of a human life are in balance. So I'm thinking about a balanced diet. I'm thinking about exercise. I'm thinking about your relationships, your personal relationships, your business relationships, your relationships with your family, all of those things being in balance. And that takes a lot of work. And so giving yourself the time, the space, the opportunity, rather than working too hard, rather than putting too many eggs in one specific basket, allowing those eggs to be spread out amongst the many aspects of your life. So being able to live a more balanced, authentic life, because you are making sure that you are in the center of your life rather than some other aspect, rather than it be your job, or rather than it be your one relationship with your partner, rather than it be your relationship with your parents, so caregiving perhaps someone, but really making sure you're allowing yourself to have that space and opportunity to have you as the center of your life. And that is how you would be able to make sure that you're doing things your way. And I think it's the key to living a more happy and authentic life, because you are at the center of your life. Okay, that is the reading for this time. And the song is Slow Down by Skip Marley and Her. The lyrics are: slow down, let me love you. Slow down, I want to get to know you. And I love that, because to me it's talking about all the people pleasing, all the running around trying to get X, Y, and Z done on time, wrap it up in a bow, make it beautiful for these other people, rather than slowing down and spending that time and energy on yourself. Slow down. I want to get to know you. So how can you get to know yourself if you're so busy doing all these other things rather than spending time with yourself, on yourself, for yourself? And so this is about getting your entire life in alignment, not just one aspect, but every single piece of your life. So it's going to take some time. This message to contemplate is: what would your life even look like if you were at the center of your life? If all of your cups were filled? If you were the most important person in your life, if you were the main character, because I've been seeing this stuff online about main character syndrome, and I'm like, if I were the main character in my life, how would that be bad? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But to be the main person in your life that you are working to not just please, but to further expand your life vision. If you were working to make your life the best life that it could possibly be, what would that look like? And it would be done your way, because that is the way, that is your path. That's just how it works. So what if you were to do things your way, and it involves slowing down and taking the time to spend on yourself? Okay, that is the message to contemplate this time. Thank you so much for paying attention. If you'd like a personal reading, you can get it on the Womb Bookstore. You can schedule on the wombbookstore.com, or you can schedule in the store. We do personal readings Thursdays from 5 to 6:30. You can get a 10-minute or a 30-minute reading. Just schedule in advance. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening, and I'll see you again next week.